is up, squad? It's the Guru here, and welcome back to Tap Out or Cash Out. I'm here with my co-host,
Andre Petroski.
And guys, we got a big week ahead. We got big times ahead. Dre has been literally immersed in camp. Every time I talk to Guy, he's at one practice or another. Dre, how you feeling right now?
I feel good. Camp's going well. Everything's good. Just been training hard, getting ready for the Golden Boy.
Dude, honestly, like I feel do you feel right now that like you're more prepared, like just from experience? Do you just feel like now you've seen things differently? Are you seeing things more clearly right now, do you think?
Yeah, I think that I have a better understanding of what I really need to do in this camp and what like I don't need to do in this camp. I know, like, you know, obviously my conditioning's got to be on point. Like this got to be on point. This got to be on point. And then I know like the stuff that's just like not you know, I'm training smart. Like I'm gonna do everything I can to come into this fight healthy but ready.
Yeah. And I can, like I said, from the outsider perspective, I can just see that confidence in you. I'm excited for Atlanta. We got the link came out last night. We all got our seats already. I'm very excited for that. And you know, let's dive into last week's card. Of course, I mean the Gary Prates fight. We got to talk about that, dude. It was crazy, right? Like somebody ends up face down, ass up, and still gets the decision. And I was asking for a title fight because he took two on short notice. It's crazy, bro. I mean, I know you said that, you know, obviously you've been tired. You probably fell asleep during the end of the fight, but you know, did you see the face down, ass up part at least?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. And I like Prates. Like I would have been happy if I would not have been mad if he won, but logically, like in my brain, I would have said took Ian Gary. Yeah.
Now he wants to fight somebody like Bilal and stuff, and showing that gas tank against Bilal, dude. If you're doing that against Prates, like imagine what Bilal would do to him in the fourth and fifth round. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I think Bilal would be a terrible matchup for Ian Gary.
Yeah.
I think Ian Gary is going to do best against like give him like a Leon, give him well, if he wants a title shot next,
which is crazy.
Like, honestly, Sean, that's the fight.
Yeah.
Sean versus Ian Gary, winner gets a title shot.
I mean, I feel like Sean just mauls him. Sean actually,
I agree.
I think Sean. I think Sean just said he would love to whoop him. I think.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, unless like he gets caught with like leg kicks and he's able to keep the distance, like what's he gonna do? Like, you know, go body lock against Sean? You know what I mean? He's like, he's just not gonna do it. And then we had the Anthony Smith retirement fight, which was pretty cool. They did a moment for him, like at the end, which was different. Like, you know, the ref kind of, you know, might have taken a couple years off of his life trying to let him stay in the octagon a little bit, bro. But you know, it was pretty cool at the end. Like UFC kind of just gotten bashed for not like Dominic Cruz. They kind of did in the Apex and just said, all right, peace, buddy. And you know, a couple of guys they kind of, you know, been bashed for not giving them the proper, you know, goodbyes, right? So this was cool in his hometown. They did like afterwards a whole like, you know, memory thing with all the videos and stuff. And you know, Anthony Smith, I don't know if you saw this, but Anthony Smith was ready to fight a fan, bro. After he gets knocked up, this big fat dude in the stands is talking shitters, and Anthony gets right up. He's like, "Fuck you!" And he's like, "None." And Yang's trying to hold him back. He's trying to climb over the cage and get after a fan. Like he did not want to leave the octagon that way. It's crazy. So yeah, it was a wild night. And then this next fight was a little controversial. Giga versus David Onama. It was you know, I think it was probably 1-1 going in the third. Giga's the better striker. Onama kind of just laid on him. I heard some people message me saying, like, because of that, they thought Giga should have won rounds. Don't really know what they're talking about. But I think Onama definitely won the fight, but it wasn't an exciting fashion like, you know, he could have done. And then this fight cost us so much, guys. We had 4 out of 5 legs and 3 out of 4 legs. I texted you about this, dude. I was texting Andre, like, oh, man, this is my biggest losing Saturday in a long time. And Michel, dude, I don't know what happened. It looked like his controller just glitched. He came out and he like threw like 9 strikes the first 2 rounds against Abus, and Abus wasn't really moving either. And Abus guessed like he was supposed to, and like maybe they thought like, okay, like we're gonna let him guess. And then in the third round, he turned down a little bit, but like it was too late. It was not the same explosive Michel Pereira that we're used to seeing.
Sometimes I see like with a lot of fighters, and one that like stands out to me is like Vitor, is like when you get some of these guys that are like really explosive, like finishers, like explosive finishers that finish fights, but if they don't get the finish, they gas. They try to change their style, and they try to change their training so much that they can be, fight the full 3 rounds or fight the full 5 rounds, and they try to be like these, like more conditioning, more conserve their energy, be smarter with it. And it's like, to some extent, they're trying to be fighters that they're not.
Yeah.
And it's like, sometimes I worry, because obviously Pereira has been, cooked in fights, like late, especially late in rounds.
Against Fluffy, though, which was crazy to me.
Yeah, so obviously Fluffy broke him later in the fight. Broke him down cardio-wise later in the fight. And I think that kind of can wear on your brain to where you're like, you don't want to get there again, so you're going to do everything you can to not get tired late in the fight. But in the reality, it's like, that's not you. Like, you're an explosive finisher, a knockout artist. Like, that's got to be your plan.
Like, put it this way, bro. If you, like, and I know you fell asleep for this fight, but like, if that version of Michelle went in the octagon against you right now, like, it would be a world of difference, bro. Yeah. Like, a world of difference. And again, as a fighter, that's why the UFC is so crazy, right? Because like, we all do MMA math, but when it comes down to it, like, there's so many other factors. It's like, where is somebody in their life? Where are they in their career? Where is their mindset? Like, who's going to actually show up in the octagon that night? Like, it clearly, and again, Michelle's a great dude. Like, I've met him a couple times at fights, and he's a really nice dude. He takes pictures with all the fans. Like, very nice dude. Like, nothing but good things to say about him. And I was like that was my pick last week. I gave him out, made me look bad, cost me $26,000 there. And we'll get down to the split decision in a couple that cost me another 22. Could have been a big week, but then we came back with 8-0 the last 2 days for another like 28 grand. So we're back. We're okay. We're not crying. We're not in poverty. But it was wild to me. It really was wild to me. Again, I don't like to, like, I just don't know what happened. It was just one of those fights where everybody was so excited for it, and it was just like, what happened? But and then Ikram, our blue light knockout of the week. You ready? Your boy,
downtown Randy Brown, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Rude boy.
The Rude boy. So you and Eddie really said this was gonna happen, and what'd you think of it?
Can we hear your best Jamaican accent, Jordan?
Oh man.
Rude boy.
Rude boy, a bumble clot.
Sorry, Randy. That's the best we got.
But yeah, guys, look at this knockout. We're going to put it up on the screen if it lets us. If not, here's a couple of clips. We're going to try and get one from Randy so it doesn't get flagged this time. Yeah, this is Blue Light Dispensary. Knockout of the week, guys. They just opened their second store in Gloucester City, New Jersey. And that's Blue Light Knockout of the week. As you go in there and you're having trouble sleeping, they'll knock you right out, guys. That's right. Blue Light, we love Blue Light, don't we, Dre? Let's go, baby. Let's go. Ikram took care of business against Muniz in the first round. Bounced back nicely. And then, dude, this
knockout.
Yeah, put him right out. And it was just a mauling, an absolute mauling.
Really?
Yeah, absolute mauling. And then Schnell against Flick, bro. Like, this one, if you're bored, this fight was crazy, bro. Like, Matt Schnell was like minus 165, 170 favorite. We had Schnell. And Flick, dude, like, he's a
tough dude.
His wrestling, it's his body bends in a crazy way, and he's able to get entries like it's crazy the way that his body bends. But he ends up gassing like he usually does, and then Schnell ended up taking over. And dude, Schnell came back from retirement. It looked like he was gonna lose, and then he turned it on halfway through the fight, and he couldn't get the finish. He had it deep, and he never got the finish, but he got the W.
So he retired and then came back?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, then that was his first fight back.
But so he's staying back or he's come back for one more?
I don't know. I got to check on that.
Let's say anything. Yeah, what did he say on the mic?
I didn't listen to that part, to be completely honest. Yeah. And then, dude, this one was a banger. Evan Elder against Gage Young. 2 big boys.
I like Evan Elder.
Yeah, dude, so it was one of those situations where I was nervous. I had Evan Elder in my plays, and like I was sitting there nervous because Shane Young was kind of just waiting to catch him in a pocket, like trying to, like, you know what I mean, counter. And he was, Dev. And he was like throwing bombs, and like it just looked like Elder was not bobbing and weaving. Like, it looked like he could have gotten caught. So it was like, as somebody bet on Elder, he didn't though, and he started gassing towards the end, but he fought defensively at the end enough, and he got the W. Definitely by decision. And then this was the one that really cost me because I hit, the over in the the Gary fight. I hit the over in the Anama fight. I hit what's her name by submission, Amoria by decision. And
which, for the record, I told Jordan not to take.
He did.
Castaneda.
Yeah, I had Castaneda and Andre told me about the leg kicks for Gutierrez.
Gutierrez has some of the best leg kicks in the UFC.
I still don't think that he won the fight, though. I still think that Castaneda was a split decision, and it was Castaneda's fault. Again, we talked about this off camera. Castaneda decided, and his corner yelled for it, and he was in full guard of Gutierrez, but he was landing nice ground and pound from there. He was in no danger. Like, I think Gutierrez tried like one arm bar, and he just shucked it, got right back in a like dominant position, landed some more. And for some reason, it turned out in the third round, we figured out what he was looking for. He was trying to get that one arm guillotine that Brady does. And so that's what he was trying to set up, but Gutierrez was too fresh, and it was a time in a fight where the round was so close because he lost the beginning of striking because of the leg kicks, and then Gutierrez fell, so with like 3 minutes left in the round, so Castaneda was on top, and for some reason, with like 45 seconds left, his corner screams, and then maybe a minute left, and then Gutierrez was longer, so like Castaneda was already having a harder time keeping him down and gaining that leverage. And for some reason, his corner tells him to go, in the side mount, and that enabled Gutierrez to then regain his guard and then throw up kicks. And eventually, Castaneda didn't want any more of the up kicks and stood up. And then it was like 25 seconds left in the round. And for some reason, he just like was kind of like lackadaisical. Like the round was over. Like, oh, we're going to round 2. And Gutierrez was like, nope, that's not happening. Just 1-2 dropped him, and then swayed the round. And then I thought he won round 2 at the end because he caught Gutierrez's leg and landed the 2 cleanest punches of the round, like rocked his face twice with his leg caught in the air. So I thought that was a stamp on the round. And one judge saw it that way. Unfortunately, the 2 others didn't. Clearly, Castaneda won round 3 on all 3 scorecards. But when Bruce Buffer called the names out, he called Castaneda first. Then he called Gutierrez second. I got hyped, but nope, called Gutierrez the third time. So we lost a split decision. It cost us $22K. That was not ideal.
So I was looking at this with Gutierrez, and Gutierrez is 10-3 in the UFC.
Okay.
13 fights, 10-3. So he has 10 wins in the UFC. Like, that's a lot of wins.
Yeah.
But if you look at it, like, he hasn't fought anyone in the top 10.
Right.
So I'm curious, like,
he's got 0 grappling.
Well, all right. So his one fight, he did lose to Song Yadong, who's like, I think he's ranked up there.
Yeah. No, Song Yadong is definitely his top 5 right now, I think.
Song Yadong is 7.
Which, by the way, we'll talk this week. For some reason, Corey Sandhagen is a huge favorite this week. He's like minus like 575, and I don't understand it at all. He's fighting against Figueiredo. I understand the size difference, but like, it's crazy. We'll get into this week's card in a second.
That is a huge. If Figueiredo is plus 400, I guess, like that's always good money. You can always get something out of Figueiredo. He's capable of finishing a fight anywhere.
And he's elite, bro. Like I understand he's up weight class, but Sandhagen's been shown that like look what Aljo did to him.
The only thing I do like about Sandhagen is like he can do everything. So like if he goes against a good striker, he can take him down. If he goes against a good grappler, he can strike with him.
Yeah, and Figueiredo does like to go for the gilly, and that's probably a bad move against Sandhagen. So maybe maybe Sandhagen does use the wrestling and takes him down, keeps him on his back. I don't know. I feel like he's good at using his feet though to push off and get back to his feet. But I don't know. I got to look at more of the tape because Sandhagen does have obviously like 6 inches, and reach is probably going to be even more than that.
Yeah.
So it's maybe he's gonna have a hard time coming in, but I think the last one.
No, I like Sandhagen in that matchup, obviously, but I would, if I was betting, I would never bet on a guy that's minus 500.
Yeah,
it's just like.
Exactly.
Too much,
and that's how like Damone Blackshear was. Everybody was like picking for finish, and for some reason, the fight previous, Damone Blackshear against Quang Ali, that dude's a beast as well. Like he's got heart, he just throws bombs, but like for some reason, Blackshear went in there and his corner's yelling wrestle, and he's like nah. Like he went in there for some reason and was like, no, I'm just gonna strike with this dude. And even though Blackshear could have probably finished the fight in the first round, he for some reason decided he wasn't gonna grapple and just wanted to strike with this dude and use his Muay Thai, which is crazy. And then, dude, this could have actually been the knockout of the week as well, but we had to go with Randy, bro. Did you see the Wellmaker against Corey Saman?
No, but I did see that he knocked him out.
Bro, this is a story. So did you realize He was in, I forget what union he was in, but this dude was going every day.
Welders.
Welders, right?
Yeah.
How cool a story. And he finally was able to quit his job. He got the bonus. Like, was able to quit his job.
Don't quit your job, though, bro.
No?
Just reduce the hours.
He's 9-0 now.
Still. You're not making big money yet.
Yeah, dude, he got the extra 50 piece, but he's not off the Dre level yet. You know, Dre's making more on the Venom package, wearing the package, and now he's making for his show money. It's got to be a cool feeling, right, that you've earned that. It's like
I think
knowledge.
it goes from like 4,500 to 6,000.
No, you make 11,000 right now just off the Venom deal. I looked it up for you last time. And that's public knowledge.
I did not get $11,000.
No, your next fight. You get your next fight because you're in your next bracket. And next 3 fights.
Over 10 fights.
Yeah, I think it's 11 to 15, and it's either 11 to 15 or 11 to 14, and then 15. Yeah, I sent it to you the one day we were talking about it.
So 11. No, I don't think you sent it.
Here, let's pull it up. Yeah. Right, so what's the Venom UFC?
Yeah, so for what Jordan's talking about, for everyone, Jordan gives no context to his conversations.
That's your job.
So since we're not allowed to have sponsors on our shorts, this is going back at least 5 years. First it was Reebok, now it's Venom. So Venom is our sole sponsor on the shorts. And so they pay us. They give us a check. Your first 3 fights, I think it's like
how good am I, by the way?
Come on, bro. I'm telling I'm trying to explain this.
I'm telling you, like, I got it in front of me.
Go ahead, Jordan, take over.
No, go ahead. No, I'm saying, so ready? Here's the pay scale. Here, you read it.
So, here we go. For your first 3 UFC fights, so you get $4,000 for after every fight. They'll give you $4,000. Then when you get to your 4th and 5th fight, you get $4,500, and then your 6th through 10, you get $6,000. After that, when your 11th to 15th fight, so I just had my 10th fight, so this will be my 11th fight. It goes up to $11,000.
Very nice, right? Yeah.
Which, that's if you fight 2-3 times a year. That's an extra 30 grand. Yeah. Like, that's good money.
And that's why these guys are coming back, because then again, 16 to 2016, and then 21 and up, that's 21,000 just for the deal.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, bro. So I remember you were a little surprised when I told you that. So that's pretty cool, right? Yeah. So, but that's almost what Wellmaker's getting for his show money right now. So it's like, it's wild.
Yeah. So your first 3 fights, typically you're at 10 and 10. Yeah. And then you go to 12 and 12 if you win that fight.
Right.
So, like I said, I worked for my first 3 or 4 UFC fights. I had a nice security job where I was able to make the schedule.
Okay.
And I went away for 7 weeks for the Ultimate Fighter, and I had my guys. They worked the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was able to work only when I needed to, but or when I wanted to. But if you can do job like welding, maybe just do some weekend work. You know.
Yeah.
I always think it's good to do something outside of fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, Miocic was like a firefighter even when he had the title.
Yeah. So do you think though that somebody is able, if they're to be a champion, if they're not training full time and they are working a job, like this kid's got potential.
I think you need something to take your mind off of fighting.
And you're very good at that. Like, dude, I don't know how you have all the time in the day, but again, dude, like you go dirt biking, and he's a great dad on top of it for all of his kids. Like it's unbelievable.
Yeah,
he's got a whole Brady bunch, and he's always giving them all the time. Like one of my best friends growing up, like they just had a play date the one Sunday. Like you really you do a good job of being a Renaissance man, they call it.
Yeah. I mean,
true Renaissance man.
Even when I remember my last regional show fight, I fought Andre Hall, and I worked I had this job. I worked for this family, and they sold They had a lot. It was called Express Marine was their company. They shipped limestone, coal, concrete all the way up from Florida. And they had a port in Camden.
Yeah.
And where they would dock and whatnot. And they sold the whole lot.
Yeah.
So they had 5 weeks to get out. They had to clear everything.
Yeah.
So we didn't work for the company. We worked for the family, but they needed all hands on deck.
Really?
So I worked for 6 weeks, and they were like, we'll give you time and a half for Saturday, and then if you want to work Sundays, we'll give you double.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit. So I worked 7 days a week, the whole camp leading up to this Andre Hall fight.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I'm assuming.
I did win.
Yeah. I'm assuming if you're in the UFC right now, you had to win that fight, right?
Yeah. So, I always worked. I always did things outside of fighting.
Yeah. These are comfortable hoodies, aren't they?
Love these hoodies.
Dude,
shout out to our sponsors, yo.
Right now, Power, guys. Power, guys, you know, and right. Oh, look at that. Look at that. You got a special. I told you Andre's in rare form right now. That's so funny, guys. So anyway, guys, Power. If you guys haven't checked them out yet, make sure you do. If you guys are in the industry, everybody's going to get solar in the next 10 years, most likely. Andre, tell them about the free solar they're doing.
No. I was going to ask you, what's going on with this free solar power giveaway?
So, you'd speak about it better than I do, but hey, if you want me to talk about it.
So they're going to give away, and they're labeling it as free energy, free power for life.
Yes.
Okay, so if they're really going to give away the solar panel system.
Yeah.
Right, and they're going to provide energy to one lucky entrance. Do we have a date yet on the actual giveaway?
I don't think we have a date, but next show we'll get you guys a date, or we'll get you guys an update on it, because we've been talking about it, we've been teasing it. But guys, we have so much merch that they got us. They hooked us up with, dude. I've never seen a sponsor give us so much merch, dude. We have these hoodies, which I said are super comfortable. We got cutoffs. We got regular tees, and like, first off, UFC 316. I will be outside UFC 316 passing them out, so look for that. I know you guys, over the years, I've done some pretty cool t-shirt giveaway. This year will be tap out or cash out. So yeah, that's Newark.
That's Newark.
Yeah, I don't. Are you gonna be able to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Oh, okay. So maybe Jay will be there with me, giving them out as well. And also, like, I got you guys will see. I got some corny custom shirts. You guys know how I do. It says Guru on here. I think I sent that to you for because I'm gonna be on stage for weigh-ins.
Corny is a good word.
Yeah. It says Team Marab on the back.
You'll stand out though.
Yeah. That's the thing. I'm good at marketing. I'm good at branding. You guys always find me, and that's what I do. You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to take one for the team. And then the last fight I want to really touch on. I mean, dude, Jocelyn Edwards is Jocelyn Edwards associated with you guys? Why do I always think that? No, no. Okay, dude, she looked great. She was just mauled Chelsea Chandler, kick, boom, put her out. And then Romero against Kwamba was the second fight. This was another great fight. Romero won round 1, and then Kwamba just clipped him and put him right out, bro. Like, this was a good card. There's some really good, talented fighters coming up. These young guys are crazy. Then we ready to move on to this week?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Now this week we're in Iowa.
Yeah.
The home of college wrestling.
Yeah.
And
ironically, your best friend's fighting.
Ironically, but they ran Bo all the way out of the state of Pennsylvania to Iowa just to get him as far away from me as possible.
Yeah, it's lining up.
And he's gonna fight Deriscus. What am I drawing?
Renner de Ritter.
Renner de Ritter.
Which, if I recall correctly, you actually asked for that fight, right?
I did ask for that fight. I watched him basically lose the first 2 rounds to Mearshart, and I was like, why is this guy ranked so high? But I asked for that, and they were like, my manager was like, nah, he's already booked, and I can't tell you against who. And I was like, I knew right away. I was like, God damn it! So yeah, they're very smart. Who not only Bo's manager, but obviously his coaches are very smart about who he fights.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that there's a way that you take care of business and he takes care of business. I don't think there's a way that he can run from you anymore at this point.
Yeah, I think it does make for a great fight.
All the build up, especially if you pre-fight, if you talk about it, obviously you don't want to talk about another man too much, but you know what, you're at the point where in your career where you're banking for future generations now, so you do what you got to do to build up fights, right? And I think that could definitely be the next one, and I think especially if you get the fans involved, we have this outlet now, and we'll get some good clips about it, but it'll be pretty cool.
I thought it was interesting that they put Bo on the card ahead of Jeremy Stevens. I know
this is wild.
I don't know how the UFC feels about guys, obviously. Well, I have an inclination about how they feel about guys that leave, fight for different promotion. Yeah. But, Jeremy Stevens is from Iowa.
Right.
He's a legend in martial arts. Yeah. I mean, the dude has fought everyone.
And he's an animal.
He's an animal. Yeah. Dude, if you watched him, I'm a fan. Obviously I was rooting for Eddie in the bare knuckle fight. But he came into Philly, he played the heel perfectly. Mm-hmm. He called Philly a dump, said, screw all of you. He played the heel perfectly, got everyone wanting him to get knocked out, and then went out and put on a brutality against Eddie.
Yeah, dude, so, Piper was ready to fight him, dude.
Yes.
Talking about heel, he did a great job,
So I know I'm supposed to hate this guy because he came to Philly and knocked out one of our legends, but dude, as an outsider perspective, that dude's a killer.
Yeah, he's got big balls.
Big balls, big balls. And I'm curious to see like how that. I haven't seen anyone go from bare knuckle and back to MMA.
Yeah. I mean, he is a minus 600 underdog, but
against
Mason Jones, he's probably just gonna get dragged.
The wrestler.
Yeah, I think Mason Jones is more of a grappler.
Damn.
Yeah.
You know what? Plus 600.
Yeah, plus 400. Yeah,
plus 400.
Minus 600 is Mason Jones.
I mean, look. A guy that's been working on his boxing that much in the past year obviously has some knockout power.
Yeah.
Might be worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, put $50 on him, come out with 200 if he wins.
Yeah, so going in reverse a little bit though. Bo Nickal's only minus 330 now. So they're starting to like dude, he's only 7-0 right now. He's only got 7 fights. Do you think that there's a chance that he loses, or do you think that he wins this?
I think that Bo Nickal is gonna lose, but I don't think it's to De Ridder.
Yeah, you don't think it's to De Ridder?
No, I didn't think he was gonna lose to Paul Craig either.
His first out was gonna be Andre Petroski.
I think his first out was gonna be Andre Petroski.
Right. Sounds good to me.
No, I think that unless De Ridder makes some serious changes from his last 2 fights, I don't think he looked good. He looked okay against Holland.
Yeah, he did. And Holland, that's aged well because Holland, you know what I mean? Holland's been putting on a show lately.
But he looked like shit against Mearshart. Nothing to take away from Mearshart.
Dude, and it's so weird that Mearshart looked so bad his last fight.
Yeah.
Like, it's so weird. Like, again, it's just, I guess.
It's fighting. You're right. It is fighting. Anything can happen. Like, some days you show up and you're a killer. Next day you show up, you look like Michelle Pereira.
It was unbelievable. I still can't believe that. I was so disappointed. Like, Michelle, I'm a big Michelle fan, too. It's crazy. This one's an interesting fight. 2 38-year-old guys, third fight on the main card. Ponzinibbio against Daniel Rodriguez. Again, both 30.
I like that fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
You know, Ponzinibbio, he's been around for a minute. Like, I remember before I was even pro, he was fighting, and he was, like, undefeated.
Yeah.
I think he fought Gunnar Nelson.
He's got 8 losses, 31 wins.
When was that fight with Gunnar Nelson?
Let's see, real fast. Boom, boom.
And there was, like, an eye poke. I think he poked Gunnar in the eye or something.
So, let's see. Ponzinibbio's last records as it's loading up is... Oh, boy, it was moving so fast for a second.
Can we get some freaking Wi-Fi in here,
go.
Devin?
Got it.
Jesus.
All right, so Pons knocked out Carlson Harris, who he kind of got redemption for Jeremiah.
When was the Gunnar Nelson fight? You dance around these questions.
Gunnar Nelson fight was in 2017. He knocked
2017.
him out in the first round. He knocked him out.
Dude, that was, that's 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, dude's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah, really
a long time. How many fights does he have in the UFC?
Oh, dude, he's maxed out the Venom deal. Right? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 fights. This is my 20th fight.
Bro, that's legendary.
It's a fat paycheck, too.
Those are fat paychecks. For anyone that doesn't know anything about the UFC pay, you don't go down. No one in the history of the UFC has ever gone down in pay.
Yeah.
You only go up. So, or you stay the same. You either stay the same or you go up. But so if you're at 20 fights, you're probably on your 3rd or 4th or 5th contract.
Yeah.
You're probably making pretty good money.
And it's interesting too, right? Because people talk like, about the UFC fighter pay, but then it's almost like a pension. It's almost like being in a union, right? So like, even though they say, oh, the fighters are forming you, think about it. Guys work for longer, they earn their keep, and now you're not giving them less money, even though, guys at the end of their career probably aren't going to be the greatest fights. You're giving them the most they've ever made in their career. Obviously, unless they're fighting for the championship, because they're earning their way. In a certain way of looking at it, that's like a pension, right? Yeah. So that's kind of cool when you look at it that way. And what were you going to say? What, nah?
Pension?
Nah, what do you mean? Like, think about it. So, arguably, a guy in their prime should be worth more than they are at the last couple fights of their career, right? When they're done, right? That they're going to be more entertaining in their prime. So you would think that they should be paid more when they're more entertaining, right? Yeah. But that reverse happens. They get paid more in theory when they're less entertaining.
Well, at the end of their career, they're probably getting knocked out.
Yeah. But
unfortunately, this is what we signed up for.
Yeah. But they're getting more money for that, right?
Yes, that's it, yeah.
So my point was, usually that's kind of in theory how a pension works when you do less work, even though you're still showing up. and you get the money for the less work because you earned
just taking more damage.
All right. Well, listen, I guess Andre wasn't a proponent of me. He wants more fighter pay. I got it, Trey. Don't worry about it.
I'm very happy with the UFC.
Yeah, now you're definitely a company man. And I think again he got this fight in Atlanta because he really was crazy enough that eating all that Mexican food, whatever, out there with his little ombre hat on, he was ready to fight Gastelum at 3 hours' notice. It definitely was.
Gastelum, I mean, all jokes aside, Gastelum's a great matchup for me.
Yeah. He especially what Brady did to him too. Like you see the way to beat him. I'm curious to see what Playford does to him.
Yeah.
Again, the odds are just weird to me with that. I don't understand what they're seeing. I don't see how Playford doesn't maul him.
What are the odds?
I haven't seen it recently. Let me look. Let's pull it up. Last time I looked, though, it dropped. Remember, it dropped down from like -600 to like -250.
Oh yeah.
So that's what I was thinking in my head, and I'm assuming that he's probably gonna be around -300. Right? Let's see. What's Playford in that? Let's see if they have it up yet. That is Davishvili versus O'Malley. They don't have anything up yet for it.
Who's the co-main for that?
Co-main's Pena versus Harrison.
That's
Harrison.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. Kayla getting her. That's for title. That's a title shot.
I can't believe Cheeto Vera against Bautista is the third on that card, though. Which is wild. And then Luke is back against Holland. Holland, what do you think about that?
I like that matchup. That's an interesting matchup. That could be exciting.
Have they fought before? Why do I feel like they fought before?
No, Luke knocked out Randy Brown.
Which is wild.
You're probably mixing up Randy and
Holland. Yeah, they have similar styles.
Tall.
Yeah. Wow, there's only 8 fights because there's not that, which is wild that there's only 8 fights there and they didn't put you on that card yet, which is crazy. I guess because they wanted to build up, dude. The Atlanta card here with Usman and who's the other? It's Usman what? Usman Buckley.
Usman Buckley,
bro. That's arguably
So that's what I was gonna say earlier about 170. It's like who fights for the title next?
Probably, and that's what Bilal keeps saying. It's like.
So I think you do like well, maybe not a 4-man tournament, but the way I see it is you got 4. Well, obviously Shavkat. I forgot about Shavkat, but I was gonna say you have Buckley and Usman, and you have Sean and Ian Gary.
I think Brady's got to fight for it next. I really do. I think he earned it.
But with no fight, like that's his next fight.
I mean, if I'm Sean, if he takes the position of either because the thing is about Brady, he said that he would fight Islam if he comes up. He's for the #1 contender fight. He said that he would fight Gary. Like Brady's ready to fight anybody, and arguably, like even though Bilal beat him once, like he deserves a rematch. They're giving O'Malley a rematch. Yeah. Like what Brady just did, Shavkat beat Gary. But he beat him in not a great fashion, right? Yeah. What Brady just did, I think he earned the title shot. I think he went out there.
No, I'm biasly going to say, give Brady the title shot. Bring the title back to Philly. Yeah. Bias. Totally. I want fucking Brady to win a title.
Yeah, I think I'm saying unbiasedly. I think really, if you're matching apples to apples and orange to orange, that Brady deserves a shot.
The flip side is that Shavkat is undefeated.
Right.
And has been active, is fighting. Yeah. So why don't you have Shavkat and Sean fight? Winner fights for the title.
Is Shavkat banged up? Why did something happen that why did Brady have to fill in last minute? Who was supposed to be or not Brady?
No, it was Del Maddalena.
Oh, JDM. Okay, so that's another thing. What's gonna happen with JDM next? Also,
not against Leon.
Is he fighting?
He filled in. No, Sean filled in against Leon.
No, but I'm saying Gary just filled in on short notice as well.
Oh, that was against
I thought that was supposed to be Shavkat. No, and then Shavkat was. Or maybe I'm talking on.
Who was supposed to fight?
Do you know, Dev?
Prates.
Jack is fighting against this guy. He's fighting for the title. Why are you discounting him yet?
No. Well, we're assuming Bilal's gonna win.
Yeah. Wait. No. I didn't know that. Maddalena's fighting Bilal for the title.
JDM. Yeah, that's why I said.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, but then also
didn't he lose? Didn't Maddalena lose?
No, he almost lost to Gilbert, and then he came back at the end.
Wow. So Maddalena got a title shot off of what?
Here, ready?
He wasn't even ranked in the top.
No, he moved up because of Shavkat. He took Shavkat's place, and they put Brady in the position that
because Shavkat was hurt, right?
Shavkat got hurt.
Yes. And it is crazy that JDM's
So Shavkat did have the title shot.
Yes.
That makes sense. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, if Shavkat's hurt, then Sean should fill right in. Sean should step right into that title shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless Islam comes up. Then if Islam comes up, then that's arguable because, again, that's a big fight for Brady. I don't know how that works. But, again, you want, like, it's a bigger fight if he's the champion and then he gets the pay-per-view bucks from Islam fight. Like, you know what I mean? So from Brady's financial perspective, like he talks about, he's a dad. You know what I mean? These are the decisions you got to make. It's like, you know, I know that he wants to go fight everybody, but at the same time, if he's strategic about it, there's certain ways of getting a bigger bag than another, right?
Well, the title is the sure way to get in a bag.
Right, exactly.
You get pay-per-view points, then you're talking about a whole nother ballgame.
But I think if Brady does decide to say, listen, I'll fight a number one contender fight again, even though obviously it's not his decision, but I do genuinely think he's earned the title shot, right?
Yeah.
But if he does agree to a number one contender fight first, I think the UFC needs to make a rain on him in a special way. Like, I think, right? Like, I think that has to be part of the negotiations because he's risking so much. Like, if he just chills out, he's going to be guaranteed a big payday.
Yeah.
So now he's taking more risk, which could, you know, if it goes bad, it could change his whole career path, right?
Yeah.
So I think the UFC needs to account for that and pay him and reward him if he does take that contender fight.
Ian Gary versus Sean. If I was Sean and they're going to make me do a number one contender spot, number one contender fight, I think it's Ian Gary.
I would think, if anything, if I was Sean, the only way I would take that would be Islam because that makes sense because Islam's coming for the champ.
Sean would trash Ian Gary.
Yeah, well, agreed. But I don't think Ian Gary deserves that. I don't think he should get the time of day yet. You know, I don't. I think that Ian lost to Shavkat.
You don't think he deserves a number one contender fight?
Not the ways that he just won. Dude, the way that he just finished against Prate is Prate. You know what I mean?
But it's not a title fight. It's a number one contender.
But that was also his first 5-rounder, right? Or was 5-rounder against Shavkat also? Let me see.
Oh, yeah, he lost to Shavkat.
Yeah, so that's why. And, like, again, he was that close to losing the Prate. Like, he finished the fight literally crawling away from him, trying not to get finished. Like,
yeah.
You know, so I just don't think that's deserving of a number one contender, especially when Brady just choked the life out of Leon Edwards in the O2 Arena
on short notice.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a big difference to me at that, I think. Anyway, and I don't know. It's all about Brady. The other thing is you know, how long would he have to wait now to fight that title fight? So is it better to take another fight in between financially, right? We're talking about finances. So, like, maybe Brady gets ornery and wants another fight. You know, it's a gamble. You know,
I've never seen Sean to do that. I think Sean is patient. He's looking at the big picture. I think he's gonna.
It's cool that
wait until the end of summer or something.
How cool is it that your whole career, like, you've worked to this point, and now you and all of your boys are right in the mix of everything.
Yeah.
Like, you're there. Like, it's like you don't have to hear, like, you know firsthand, like, what these guys are thinking, like, what they're doing. Like, it's got to be a cool feeling, right?
For sure.
Yeah, like this. Sure. And dude, even Randy Brown, like, dude, I didn't even realize Randy Brown trains with you guys like that. And like, dude, that means the striking's there too in that room.
But yeah, so what I was gonna say is, like, we can sit here and speculate and talk about, I think this, blah, blah. At the end of the day, like, the UFC does whatever the UFC wants. They're the ones calling the shots. And usually they're going to bring up the guy that's going to make them the most money. Whoever they want, you know, that's they make those decisions. And, you know, maybe Shavkat's not a big draw. Maybe, you know.
Well, it's crazy because, again, I think that Gary fight kind of, in a weird way, even though he won, I think, well, he was going to get the shot before he got hurt, though.
Yeah.
But I think in a weird way that kind of hurt his stock a little bit just because he didn't finish him. Everybody's like, oh, Shavkat's a big killer. He's going to maul everybody.
Which is what I thought, too.
Yeah. And the way it was kind of just not that. And then, like, talk about this, dude. Imagine this guy, not Daniel Rodriguez, Daniel Marcos. He's now 17-0 somehow, this guy, with like a zillion split decision wins, though. Like, so, like, he's fighting against Montel Jackson. He's Montel Jackson's minus 210 favorite. But, like, Marcos is just that guy that, even though he's had, like, let's see how many UFC wins he's had. I think he's had like 5 or 6 UFC wins right now. And he's still barely getting moved up anywhere because the styles that he's winning the fights in. Like, talk about picking perfect matchups. Daniel Marcos has gotten the perfect matchups. He's only 32, but it's split against Yanez, right? And then Castaneda did beat Castaneda, but it's split against Davey Grant. He did have a finish 5 fights back against Solomon, but that's what? So Contender Series 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
This guy
6.
just fought on the Mexico card.
Yeah. No, the Covington Buckley card in December.
I mean, Yanez is good.
Yeah, and it was split.
And he beat Castaneda.
Yeah. No, this is definitely a step up. Like, Montel Jackson's a good fighter. He's been on a nice win streak himself. He puts guys down. Let's see what Montel Jackson's fight records are right now.
14-2.
Yeah, he was on a bit. Yeah, he knocked out Blackshear in the first round, and you just saw Blackshear played around striking wise. So like, this is definitely a big step up. I think that Montel Jackson, based off what I've seen, Montel Jackson should mow through Daniel Marcos, even though it's the 17-0. I don't see a way that Marcos beats him. I think that he's gonna outstrike him, and I think that he's gonna outgrapple him. And in this one, dude, Sadir City against Cam Smotherland. This is gonna be a good fight. City was the dude that knocked out Ramon Tavares in the Contender Series, and then they got the rematch because it was like that questionable stoppage.
Okay.
And then he ended up losing to him. I think it was a split. It's gonna be, and then the Stevens fight. Misha Tate's on this card, which is wild. That she's
from out there, right?
From where? Oh, is that where she's from? Iowa?
Not Iowa, but one of the states next to it. I'm pretty sure she's from the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Does it not say it?
I don't see. It doesn't say the thing I'm looking at. What are you looking at?
I just go type in UFC on Google and it pops up.
Okay. Juliana Miller. She's from what? North Jersey.
Juliana Miller.
Never
heard of her.
I know that Oren manages her. I assume that. I thought she was North Jersey. I thought she trained with Aaron for some reason. And then Thomas Peterson's on this. Wow, he got up fast. He's got 3 losses quick against Dontel
Misha
Mays.
Tate is from Washington.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little off.
This undercard's not great. I mean, Jillian Robertson on the undercard. She's all against Marina Rodriguez. But yeah, this is not the greatest undercard.
Ooh, Ryan Loder's on this on the prelims.
Yeah, what do you think about him?
He won the Ultimate Fighter. I would like to fight him at some point.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a good wrestler. He was in the national finals for Division 1.
Well, hopefully you never have to fight him because you're so high up in the rankings.
That's fair.
You never, you know what I mean?
That's fair.
Because again, dude, I genuinely, and dude, again, seeing how he's evolving, like I don't know, dude, I got a good feeling. Like I got a good feeling that you're gonna come out your best version of yourself. Like I feel like you're so dialed and honed in, and like the people around you, like bro, like I don't know. I just feel like there's like an aura coming from you right now in your camp, and like I feel like the confidence and like in that room that you guys are in, like I really feel like it's gonna be.
Yeah,
I think we might get a finish. I really do.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. Anything else you want to touch on? You want to talk about the camp a little bit?
Juliana Miller girl was on the Ultimate Fighter. She's only 3-3, but she was on the Ultimate Fighter. I think that's why a lot of her wins don't count. Maybe
is that what it is? I know. Bolanos, that could be a good fight. That could be a banger.
I think she won the Ultimate Fighter. That
Pons fight against Daniel. I wonder if one of those guys retire in that fight. The Pons and Emilio against Rodriguez. Yeah, how's your tree? Did you move into your new house yet?
No, not to August.
No tree disease.
No tree. No, and I don't get tree diseases because I have the best tree removal service in the world.
Yeah, who's that?
Their name is, I don't know if you've heard of them, but Enright Tree Removal.
I might have heard of them.
They're the best in the business.
Are they?
Okay, especially for the South Jersey area. Like, they'll come right out and they'll tell you right away whether they can fix this, treat this tree and save it, or if it needs to be cut.
Yeah, and how do I contact them? How do I find them, Jay?
It's crazy because what if I told you that we post the link to their information in the bio of our YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What if I told you that?
Yeah. What if I told you it was probably going to be scrolling right across the bottom of the screen?
What if I told you it was right here, right now, right there, all the information right there? So if you got a tree that you're like, you know, where if say you got kids, right, and this tree's dead,
yeah,
you can have branches fall. That could be dangerous.
Yeah.
So we got to treat this tree. We got to remove it.
Yeah, guys. South Jersey, PA, anywhere in Jersey, hit up Enrights. We appreciate the Enrights very much.
Shout out to the Enrights.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? I think Dre's got 18 practices today.
17, only 17. It's a light day.
Nah, I'm proud of you though. Oh, dude, it's such a difference in Dre. Like I said before the camp started, Dre all day long. I text him, call him, boom, he's texting me, and now he's like Eddie answers his phone half the time now. That's a good sign. No, that's a good sign.
I'm locked in. Bro.
No, I like that. I can tell. That's what I'm saying. I can feel the vibes.
All I see is gold, right?
Yeah, no, I see it.
The golden boy is mine.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Let's go. I'm happy for you. I can't wait. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Appreciate you guys. Tap out or cash out, and let's crush this weekend. Let's go.